home to an astounding collection of over 2,000 sacred temples. One of the world's greatest archaeological sites and most mystical landscapes. I continue my exploration of the Golden Land, Myanmar, as I set foot on the ancient kingdom of Bagan. The journey from Mandalay to Bagan is a 4-hour drive through the countryside. With the road still being developed, expect a bumpy ride, but one that isn't short of local scenery. Entering the ancient city of Bagan is getting transported back in time. From the 9th to the 13th century, Bagan was the capital of the Empire of Bagan, the first kingdom to unify the regions that would later become modern Myanmar. Bagan is a fortified city, and we entered through its only surviving gate from the 9th century, Tharabar Gate. Conveniently situated near the ancient portal is the hotel at Tharabar Gate. Set in a lush garden and using local materials such as teak wood and brick. The hotel has made sure it blended well with the surroundings of Old Bagan.
There were like 12 gates, weren't there?
Yes, and then close to our hotel. First gate in Old Bagan.
Going to Old Bagan is very near.
Yes, very near.
So you're very lucky being here, huh?
Yes.
I am the one lucky being here.
Luxurious yet traditional, and with a key location. The hotel at Tharabar Gate allows travelers very good access around Old Bagan. Flowing from the north to the south of Myanmar is the Irrawaddy River, an important waterway for trade and transport since ancient times. Kurt Bruschweiler and his wife Ruby invited me on a sunset cruise along the Irrawaddy. Sailing from the banks of Old Bagan offer a stunning view of pagodas glistening in the afternoon sun with Myanmar's mountain ranges in the distance. Upon reaching a sandbar in the middle of the river, there was stillness and silence. Kurt tells me that boats would turn off their engines here and wait to catch a sight of Myanmar's golden sunset. The Irrawaddy's current flows back to the riverbanks, so boats can just allow themselves to drift back quietly as night falls over Bagan. Up next, I get up close to Bagan's architectural wonders. Nearly 1,000 years after the kingdom of Bagan flourished, the dusty plains of Myanmar are filled with the densest concentration of Buddhist temples, stupas, and ruins in the world. A total of 55 kings made Bagan their seat of power. At the height of its rule, Bagan also became a religious center. King Anaurata, its 42nd king, ushered an era of religious and cultural reform, embracing Theravada Buddhism and the pursuit of knowledge. Thousands of devotees flocked to Bagan and built pagodas and temples as a sign of their reverence. My guide and translator, Jojo, takes me on an enlightening journey through Bagan's architectural and religious wonders.
Jojo, this is a typical Myanmar
architecture.
The 3 steps,
3 square steps and big bell shape.
but looks very solid.
Very solid.
Unmatched in magnificence, the Swezigon Pagoda's construction was commissioned by King Anaurata himself. Its bell shape was to be the basis for most pagodas all over Myanmar. It houses one of Buddha's teeth, a very important relic. Interestingly, before Theravada Buddhism was promoted by the monarchy as the national religion, the local people worshipped guardian spirits called Nats.
They make big eyes like this.
Anybody with big eyes are always
every
spirit.
can provide the people's luck.
The king decided to assimilate this belief into Buddhism, allowing the image of Nats to be enshrined in the pagodas. From the gold-gilded Swazigon, we visited one of Bagan's magnificent brick pagodas.
The name of this temple is called Tilo Minlo. It means the king's favor and the umbrella's favor.
Stepping inside, one can see ancient mural paintings adorning the walls and ceiling of the temple. Legend has it that the king selected his successor by having them in a circle and spinning a white umbrella in the middle. Whoever it tilted to was the next king.
Yes, I want to tell you about this picture behind the Buddha's statue. So this is a Chinese traders demonstration painting from the
So
17th
the color is
century.
different, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, is that an earthquake? I felt there was an earthquake.
Yes, because of earthquake.
Because I felt it.
Coincidentally, the temple was toppled over by an earthquake in 1975 and was rebuilt after. We stepped outside to admire the plaster and stone sculptures adorning the temple's brick walls.
They added molasses. These plaster were eaten by termite.
Because of the molasses.
Yeah, because of the molasses.
Curiously, some women from the Karen long-necked tribes of northern Thailand have made their way here. Moving back closer to Tharabar Gate, we visited the Ananda Temple, said to be the finest and best preserved in Bagan. The Sanskrit word Anand means very beautiful.
They say that after the Ananda temple was finished, the king had all the architects executed so that it can never be copied again.
Up to this day, the temple is maintained and whitewashed on regular basis. Inside, it has 4 Buddha images facing each direction, but the south-facing Buddha draws a lot of attention.
This is a very unusual statue of the Buddha. They say at this point, the face would be smiling. And if I moved a little bit forward, it would have a serious face. And yes, indeed, it does look a little bit more serious when you're here.
From the finest, we went to see the biggest pagoda in Bagan.
King Narathu was built this temple, but it was not complete. So here we can see the beautiful brickwork.
They say that these bricks are made so well and it's very high quality that you are unable to put a pin in between them.
Aside from the architectural merits of Bagan's numerous temples, what makes them interesting are the stories behind each structure. The locals tell many tales of ghost hauntings. King Narathu, who built the temple, murdered his own father to ascend the throne. The wicked king was also said to chop off hands of workers when he finds their work substandard. He himself was murdered before the temple was finished, which is why the Damayanji is distinct for its unfinished temple top. As the day winded down, Jojo and I decided to try one of the best ways to get around.
Well, nothing beats a 1 horsepower. It is the best way to really go around and see this place.
After a day of walking barefoot, it was nice to kick back and just take in the sights.
It's nice making stops and taking a look at all these stupas and temples. It's a fantastic view in the sunset. It's a great way to see these places on the ground.
My days in Myanmar always end by catching the sunset. And just like everyone, I find it's always worth waiting for. When we return, I continue to see Bagan and get charmed by the local life.
This is what I like. I always like food.
Bagan's mystical landscape was home to about 200,000 people during its reign. In the 13th century, the empire fell as Mongol invasions continued. Today, some small villages like Minanthu offer a glimpse of the traditional life in Bagan. Longji is the traditional clothing worn in Myanmar, worn by both men and women.
To blend with the community, I got myself a longji.
The cloth is cylindrical in shape and wrapped around the waist.
Jojo, I must say that this is one of the most comfortable clothing that I've ever worn.
Sure. It's a very airy and comfortable for our body.
Yes,
It's good for the hot season.
that's right.
It is often made of cotton grown locally, but can also use other fabrics like silk. Traditionally, each household has their own hand loom, and the women weave the longjis of everyone in the family. Another traditional Myanmar practice is the wearing of tanaka, a cosmetic paste made from tree bark. It is common to see men and women with tanaka applied on their faces. Certain trees that grow abundantly in Myanmar can be used to make the paste. It has a fragrant scent similar to sandalwood, and it is used as skincare and protection from the sun.
How do you feel like this time?
Very fresh, very refreshing, huh? Wow, I really feel like a superstar. Is it very expensive to have makeup artists from Myanmar? He has it also. Ah, you have it also.
Villages are mostly agricultural in this part of Myanmar.
And these are the peanuts that they have just harvested. And peanuts are one of the major crops that farmers are producing. In the villages, they don't have running water, but they have these nice looking jars where they keep their water. And water seems to be very precious in this part of the town.
Local cigars are made out of corn husks.
Our traditional cigar.
Okay, traditional cigar.
This is a tobacco.
And this one?
This is a dry stalk from the toddy palm tree. So here, these are the ingredients for the cigar.
I see. So it's not just tobacco, but it comes with a little bit of some tree parts and
Yes.
and what is the
Yes.
color? It looks like it's from a corn.
Yes, the corn shell.
This looks like very serious. She has their own ashtray. And do they sell it to everyone?
No, for their family.
So
only.
everyone makes their own for their family. Great.
It's a
Oh, no,
very
it's okay.
small-
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Back in town, I checked out another local industry Bagan is known for.
One of the craft industries here in Bagan is lacquerware making.
This is the beginning for the bamboo base. He has to peel the bamboo to become like this size.
Yes, yes. And that's a very smart way of doing, huh?
Lacquerware making has been done in Bagan since the 12th century.
There's a lot that you need. Great.
Bamboo is used as the raw material and shaped into bowls or boxes. Sometimes horsehair is added. Lacquer comes from the sap of a local tree, mixed with ashes or sawdust. When brushed into the bamboo, it creates a glossy surface resistant to moisture or heat. Artisans carefully decorate the lacquerware with pigments or gold leaves. Bagan's subtle charms continue to enamor, but I still have one more experience to complete my stay in this ancient city.
It's a nice morning here in Bagan, and I will be flying with Phil.
Ballooning has become very popular in Bagan, with 3 companies operating balloon flights here. Oriental Ballooning, with its distinct green balloons, offer a unique experience of Myanmar from the air.
It's just nice to be inflating a balloon with a backdrop of the temples. They're using a tractor instead of a regular chase vehicle.
I finally get a chance to see Phil here in Myanmar, after flying with his wife Allie in Mandalay previously.
Yeah, well, certainly Myanmar has really got involved very much in ballooning from the point of view of developing it as a tourist facility, more than almost anywhere else in Asia. We're advising the Department of Civil Aviation here, as I have done right from the beginning, on following procedures which are appropriate for balloons, but keep the level of safety at the highest international level.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We slowly rose above the stupas as the morning mist rose from the temples. I felt like I can almost touch the temple tops.
It's a fantastic view. The sun is just right, just hitting the tips on the sides of the temple.
The morning light changed the landscape into a dreamlike setting. One by one, the golden pagodas seemed to pop out from the green landscape. And sometimes, the sharp-looking stupas look like they can burst the balloons. But to me, they look like inverted ice cream cones. Seeing other balloons over the landscape made it even more dramatic. As we climbed higher, I felt that I was able to see Bagan in all its glory.
I don't think you'll see this sight anywhere else in the world. The temples, the river, the nice green trees, the mountains.
They say that in Bagan, it is impossible to move a finger to any direction without pointing directly to a pagoda. I was slowly awakened from this dreamlike state as we started to descend.
Well, the good thing is they allow us to plant anywhere in the area. The bad thing is that there's so many plants and crops that we didn't want to upset anyone.
Fortunately, we landed very close to Allie's balloon, who also took up passengers that morning. Magical is a word that still falls short of describing this experience. The people are as warm as the reflection of the sun on the pagodas. Myanmar is really a place where you look forward to the beginning and end of each day. I'm glad I did not miss one sunrise or sunset during my stay in the Golden Land.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in our next Asian Air Safari.